Bloodline's world just got a whole lot more intense. After the Usos' shocking defeat at WrestlePalooza, Jacob Fatu, the fierce Samoan werewolf, finally breaks his silence, speaking with raw honesty and loyalty that hits deep. This isn't just about a loss, it's about family, honor, and what it truly means to stand strong when the world is watching. And then there's Roman Reigns, whose heartfelt message to his brothers reminds us why the Bloodline's bond runs deeper than any championship or victory. Emotions are running high, and the WWE Universe is left stunned, inspired, and ready for what comes next. If you thought this was just another setback, think again. This is the beginning of something far bigger. WrestlePalooza's aftermath, a defining moment for the Bloodline. WrestlePalooza was supposed to be another showcase of the Bloodline's dominance. For years, the family has stood at the pinnacle of WWE, their unity and ferocity making them nearly unbeatable. The Usos, with their unparalleled chemistry and skill, have been central to that legacy, defending their honor and titles with relentless intensity. But facing Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, two imposing powerhouse wrestlers, brought an unprecedented challenge. When the final bell rang and the Usos were defeated, the shock wasn't just about a loss. It was about what the loss represented. For many fans and commentators, this moment exposed cracks in the Bloodline's armor, raising questions about their future and their enduring grip on WWE's landscape. More than that, a new faction led by Paul Heyman quickly seized on the opportunity to mock the Bloodline's vulnerability, turning what should have been a moment of reflection into a public spectacle. This wasn't just a loss on the scoreboard, it was a test of the Bloodline's identity and resilience. Jacob Fatu. The Samoan werewolf's quiet power. In the world of wrestling, Jacob Fatu is a figure who commands respect not only for his physicality, but for the raw intensity he brings to every match. Known as the Samoan werewolf, his presence is intimidating, a blend of feral aggression and disciplined power that few can match. But last night's interview showed another side of Fatu, one that is deeply connected to his family and fiercely loyal to the Bloodline's legacy. When asked about the Usos' loss and his role in their corner, Fatu leaned forward, his voice calm yet filled with a quiet, undeniable power. His words carried the weight of a man who has seen battles beyond the ring, who understands what family means in this brutal world of sports entertainment. "Everyone wants to talk about the loss," he said, his tone measured but intense. "They see two brothers who fell short. But I see two warriors who bled for this family. I had their back then, and I have their back now." The room seemed to hold its breath as Fatu's gaze locked with the camera, and his voice dropped to a whisper that sent chills through anyone listening. What happened at WrestlePalooza? That was just the beginning. The Samoan werewolf hasn't even begun to hunt. This statement wasn't just bravado, it was a promise. A declaration that the Bloodline's fight is far from over, and that greater battles lie ahead. Roman Reigns' emotional message. The heart of the Bloodline. The interview then shifted to a somber, intimate moment with Roman Reigns. Sitting in a dimly lit room, the WWE Universal Champion's demeanour was a mix of uncharacteristic vulnerability and steely resolve. Roman's voice carried the weight of a leader who deeply feels the responsibility of his family and faction. "To my family," he began, addressing Jimmy and Jay with a tone that resonated with pride and encouragement. "I am proud of you. You faced giants. You showed the heart of this Bloodline." Roman's words weren't just comfort, they were a rallying cry, a reminder that setbacks are part of the journey, and what defines a family is how they rise from those moments. "This isn't the end of our story," he continued. "It's the start of our comeback. And to everyone celebrating our stumble, your celebration ends at Survivor Series." Roman Reigns' message encapsulated the essence of the Bloodline's strength. unity, resilience, and an unbreakable bond forged in adversity. The power of storytelling in WWE. Turning crisis into opportunity. Wrestling isn't just about the physical battles inside the ring. It's about the stories that grip us, the emotional journeys that make us care. And right now, one of the most compelling narratives in WWE centers around the Bloodline, a faction that has dominated headlines, championships, and the hearts of fans. But even the strongest can stumble, and that stumble happened at WrestlePalooza when the Usos faced a heartbreaking defeat. What could have been a moment of weakness instead became a fascinating turning point, one that is reshaping the entire story. What makes this storyline so captivating is how it embraces vulnerability without losing strength. The Bloodline isn't just a group of wrestlers who win or lose. They're a family, a legacy, a symbol of Samoan pride and power. When Paul Heyman's new faction mocked their defeat and fans began to question whether the Bloodline's legendary dominance was cracking, the group didn't shy away or crumble. Instead, they faced their setbacks head-on, showing that true power isn't about never falling. It's about how you rise after the fall. This kind of storytelling goes beyond flashy moves and championship belts. It's about genuine human emotions, the pride, the pain, the doubt, and ultimately, the resilience. It's about rewriting a narrative that once seemed like a potential end into a beginning filled with promise, determination, and fire. WWE at its best is more than just sports entertainment. It's a modern-day saga filled with heroes, villains, and those who walk the fine line in between. What's next? The road ahead for the Bloodline and Jacob Fatu. As the dust settles on WrestlePalooza, the WWE Universe finds itself buzzing with questions and anticipation. The spotlight is now firmly on the Bloodline's next moves. Will the family's unity withstand the pressure? Can the Usos reclaim their once untouchable status? And most intriguingly, what role will Jacob Fatu, the fierce Samoan werewolf, play in this ongoing saga? Jacob's recent interview revealed more than just a response to defeat. His words carried weight, commitment, and a hint of something darker and more dangerous brewing beneath the surface. When he said, "The Samoan werewolf hasn't even begun to hunt," it wasn't just bravado, it was a promise. Fans sense that Fatu's involvement is about to escalate, that his loyalty to the Bloodline is not only unshakable, but that he's preparing to take the fight to a whole new level. Roman Reigns' emotional message added another layer to this evolving story. It's rare to see the head of the table so openly vulnerable, yet his words carried a proud, almost fatherly tone as he addressed Jay and Jimmy. "You faced giants. You showed the heart of this Bloodline," he said, reminding everyone that setbacks don't define a warrior's spirit. What matters is the comeback. Join the conversation. Your thoughts matter. One of the incredible things about wrestling storytelling is the sense of community it creates. Fans aren't just passive viewers, they become part of the journey, emotionally invested in every twist and turn. That's why your thoughts, reactions, and discussions matter so much. What did you make of Jacob Fatu's powerful words? Do you believe that the Samoan werewolf's hunt will be the turning point for the Bloodline? How did Roman Reigns' heartfelt message land with you? These are the questions that keep the conversation alive and the storyline vibrant. Wrestling thrives on passion, passion from the performers and passion from the fans. It's this connection that elevates the drama beyond scripted entertainment into something that feels real, urgent, and deeply personal. So, whether you're a long-time Bloodline supporter or new to the story, your voice adds to the richness of this ongoing saga. A legacy of strength, loyalty, and redemption. The Bloodline's journey is far from over. Their devastating loss at WrestlePalooza was not an endpoint, but a spark, igniting a new chapter filled with determination. and the hunger to reclaim their place at the top. Jacob Fatu's fierce loyalty and Roman Reigns' emotional leadership remind us that strength is not the absence of failure, but the courage to confront it head-on. This chapter promises to explore themes that resonate beyond the wrestling ring: family loyalty, redemption, the price of greatness, and the resilience required to overcome setbacks. The Bloodline story is as much about their culture and identity as it is about championships and victories.